So I was working at this nonprofit in Mexico. This is Mexico City. And I got in what I thought was a taxi. I was going to meet my friend at a bar, and the taxi was driving in the wrong direction. In Mexico City, it's pretty easy to know where you're going because down towards the center is a bowl. It's a bowl shape. Down towards the center is the presidential palace and things like that. And then up higher on the bowl is like air pollution and bad neighborhoods. And then as you get further up and up and up and up and over the mountains, it's like you're not going towards the center. You're going the opposite direction. So we were driving the opposite direction, and I was like, this is not the right way. I don't have to know. He's like, no, you don't live here for very long. This is the right way. And I'm like, no. And then if he had said there's an accident or this is blocked or there's a road closure, that would have been different. But I was like, no, you're just bullshitting me. And then after a while, he's like, I got to ask directions. That's why we're going the wrong way. And I was like, so you changed your story. Also, I'm asking to go to the center of Mexico City. You don't need directions. This is like if I was in New York and I was like, take me to Times Square. And the guy's like, I got to get some directions.
Right.
Like, what are you talking
cab
about?
driver of all people asking for directions.
I was like, what are you talking about? None of this makes any sense. So I knew something was up. And this is before smartphones. So I was like, okay, I'm not screwing around on my phone looking at Instagram. I'm not getting distracted by my phone. I'm not retreating into it. All I had was me and my thoughts. And I was like, this is not right. So I was like, just take me back and I'll pay you. And he's like, nah, we're almost there. And I was like, well, that's definitely not true. And then I was like, just let me out here. And he's like, no, you need to go to the ATM to get money. Cause I told him I don't have cash. I need to go to the ATM before I could pay him. So he didn't think I was just like running out of his cab at the end. And I was like, okay, this guy knows that I'm a gringo, that I have a bunch of credit cards on me, that I need to go to an ATM and get cash. So he knows I can take cash out. I'm pretty sure I'm being like kidnapped right now, but I'm not sure how to get out of this car. So I try to open the door at the next red light, and I realize it's got like the child lock on it. And so the door won't open. And also there's a physical lock, but it had been cut low enough that when it was locked, you couldn't get your fingers in there.
In the door, like it was one of the old school little buttons that pops up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was buried in there. And I was like, it could have fallen off because it's an old car, but this is pretty suspicious. Shouldn't the door open when I pull the handle? And then I was like, oh, I'm trapped in the car. So I was seated behind the passenger seat. I slid behind the driver, and I was just to change seats in his mind. And then he stops in front of this like gross cinder block building. There's like no lights. It was just a really ghetto neighborhood. And I was like, don't get out of the car. Again, no cell phones. So he couldn't give anybody a heads up we were coming. I was like, do not get out of the car. Keep driving. He's like, no, this is my friend's place. I'm going to ask for directions. I have to go to the bathroom. I was like, this is all bullshit. Do not get out of the car. So I put my hand between him and the door, and he didn't see that. I don't know why. I guess he was paying attention to me talking, not my hand.
Looking in the mirror or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put my hand between him and the door, and he's like, relax, man, relax. Cause I was like getting aggressive, and I was like, keep driving. You're not getting out of this fucking car. And then he made like a fast one for the door, but I was 20. I'd been eating carne asada and going to the gym twice a day because I had nothing better to do. And this guy was sitting on his fat ass in a cab all day, and he was like 50 something. So he made a fast one for the door, and I pulled him back in with one arm, and I just choked the shit out of him until he stopped moving with the seat between the seat, which is actually really hard to do because normally when you're choking somebody, you pull them against your chest.
Just leverage.
But you have a car seat in between you. So I'm like doing like a full on bicep preacher curl with this guy's neck, and my forearm across his face. So he's thrashing around and kicking and like trying to bite me and stuff. And he just passed out. Then I'm like, well, shit, now what? I'm still in the backseat of the car. I got an unconscious guy in the front. He's going to wake up in like 10 seconds, less. So I crawl between seats. I open his door, throw his limp-ass body, fat body out of the car, realize I can't drive a stick shift. And this is like a Volkswagen Beetle from 1968 or something. So I was like, shit. And it's got this giant stick shift. I'm like, I have no clue how this thing works.
You can probably run faster than the Beetle anyway.
Right. And I'm like, I know vaguely how to drive a stick, but this is an old car. It's got a trick. The clutch has to go 3/4 of the way in, not all the way in. You got to wiggle it a little before you put it in drive. Like every old car with a stick has some weird shit like that. And I was like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
He's going to wake up and start screaming any second now. So I took the keys out and just ran. That dude woke up a few seconds later. I heard him yelling. And I was like, run. I ran until I hit a main road. I guess they either didn't catch me, couldn't catch me, whatever. Or maybe he was more severely injured than I thought.
And you still had his keys, though.
I threw the keys. I realized I should have kept the keys. That was a mistake I made. But he didn't get the keys because I thought if he finds them, he's going to drive after me.
Right.
but I threw them and it probably took him, I don't know, 10 minutes to find him. Maybe he's still looking for him. Who knows? But I could hear him or somebody screaming and then they didn't come after me. Thank God. And I got to a main road and I'm trying to wave down cars. And I remember nobody stopped. And I was like, big surprise. I was sweating through my shirt and I had like frosted blonde tips because it was 1999 or 2000, whatever it was. Yeah, it was 2000.
Oh, you were hip.
Yeah, I was hip. I was wearing Banana Republic chinos, like, you know, but I looked like shit. And like nobody would stop for the white guy in the middle of the hood. And then finally this guy stops and it was like him and who I thought at the time was his daughter, but like 2020 hindsight is probably his girlfriend because that's how they roll down there sometimes. And I was like, let me get in the car. I've been kidnapped. And like the crap Spanish that I was panic Spanish. And he was like, no, you're not getting in my car. I thought you were like injured or something. And I was like, they kidnapped me. I'll ride in the trunk. I was like, I'll ride in the trunk. And he was like, all right, if you're willing to ride in the trunk, you're probably telling the truth.
Yeah.
And the girl was kind of like, obviously he's telling the truth. Like, look at him. Look at where he is, what he's wearing.
Right.
So he didn't make me ride in the trunk. He let me sit in the back seat. He's like, where am I taking you? Like, what happened? So I told him, I was like, what happened? Blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, where am I taking you? I was like, take me to the police station. And he was like, let me explain something to you. I am definitely not taking you to the police station. One, I don't want any part of this. Two, if that guy is connected at all to the police, you are going straight back here, or best case, you're getting locked up. Do you know if that guy's even alive? Did you injure him? And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, you should not go to the police. They're like, what you should do is go to the airport now. But you need your stuff, your passport and your luggage. So we'll drop you off at a metro station. I was like, that's fine. So I took the subway and then I took another like little school bussy thing back to my barrio neighborhood and I got my shit and I moved.
You bolted.
Yeah. Because he had a good point. What happens if the person I heard screaming was his friend and that cab driver had a heart attack and died because I choked him? I don't need to go to jail for murder in Mexico with corrupt cops.
Yep.
And were the cops in on the kidnapping thing? Like, is that a gang that kidnaps foreigners and holds them for ransom?
And you know now that's quite possible.
Totally possible, yeah.